Okay, so I wanted to do a video on this. I've had it for about a month or so now, and I decided to make a new type of video because the original one I wasn't quite happy with, so I decided to change it. This is a really old style isolator, three-phase isolator, and thing's about 60, maybe 65 years old, and has only been taken out service maybe a month or a month and a half ago. This is in very nasty condition. It's covered in God knows how many years of dust and grime and whatnot, and yeah, it has stood the test of time really. Maybe even older than the 50s, I don't know. The only reason why I say it's probably made in the 50s is because the this warehouse that I've been working in this past week in Stamford is a old style, well, was an aircraft hangar in the 50s, but they changed it to a storage unit, and not a storage unit as such, more like a it's going to be like a factory now, thinking about it, and it was loaded with these. So should we have a look inside? Again, it's very simple. This top right hand screw, you turn it and it allows you to go inside it, but it's got a locking mechanism. It won't let you in it until it's in the off position, which is like that. Then what have we got inside? Yeah, okay, very interesting, to say the least. Have a look around. So as you can see, this is a three-phase isolator, and obviously one of the fuses is long gone. Looks to be porcelain, which indeed it is. Oh, damn it. Okay, sorry it's on a bit of an angle, but it's the best I can do for the minute. It's a three-phase rotary isolator as such. One of the fuses is missing, as you can see. That one is no longer there. It does appear to be porcelain. I have done some work on this just to let you know. The actual fuse holder was loose, and so was the copper forks. They were not even in their slots. So I tried to get one thread to go in, like the one screw to go in the thread, but it didn't work, so that's why it's on a bit of a piss, and I can move it. But the other two fuses are there. It is a bit rusty on the inside, but doesn't look too bad, although I do see remnants of white in here, which is not good, because that can only mean one thing. Okay, let's try and take the other fuses out. That's one fuse. Fuse wire, as you can see. On there, as you can see, there's a fuse wire there. I'm not sure what this is. Is it? It's a 10 amp fuse wire. Looks about more like 5, but oh well, never mind. So yeah. And just as I thought, my suspicions were correct. It's got asbestos lagging, because this white stuff here, try not to disturb it, is asbestos flash lagging. Stops when it flashes. It distinguishes it if it was to like have a short circuit between one of the phases. See, I'll get the other one out again. The asbestos lagging's in there, as you can see, and this must have been in like a barn or grain dryer, because as you can see, these top two terminals here are fucking rusty, and so is most of these things. and see if I can get you on it. As you see, those bits of the asbestos flash flag in there. Again, another 10 amp thingamajig. So, and now we're going to chuck this in the skip at work. It's a bit of a shame, but oh well, never mind. But I'm going to see if they're glued in or they're just placed in, and we'll go on from there. But that's the fuses anyway. There's a bit of a close-up look. So obviously your outgoing supply is in the top, goes out, your incoming supply is in the bottom. As demonstrated here, these copper forks, well, they just basically transfer the power from one side to the other. So the main incomer with these 3 terminals here is going to be permanently live. It's not until you shove these copper forks in, and it just basically creates a bridge. That's all it is. It's simple, but it works. This is the data plate, and as you can see, that's one of them. If you want to read it, that's something you don't see very often anymore, hardly anyway. Some more details about the thingamajig. So it's a motor starter, as it were. So it's probably out of a grain dryer. It reckons at 10 amps at 440 volts AC, it reckons it can handle the start up of a 5 horsepower motor approximately. Here's something that's very crude but very effective. Let's see if I can do this properly without messing it up. You see this panel, this flap here, this is what engages it on and off, basically, what makes and breaks the circuit. So if you click it into the on position, you can't open the lid whilst it's in the on position, but you can still get your fingers in part of the way, which doesn't meet the current regs at the minute, and probably never will, ever again. But it's not until you flick it into the off position that you can open it. That's what that little flap's for. And if you wanted to be a smart arse, you could just shave that off. When you flick it to the on position, you can just go la da 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 and probably kill yourself. But no one this day and age is really that stupid. But it can be done, because knowing what some people are like, they can do things to endanger their lives if they really wanted to. But moving on, you cannot turn it on either, because again it hits this half dome shape and the flap hits that, and yeah, so it's an aluminium frame, I think. Some really cool sounding clunk. Okay, this screw here is what actually locks the whole thing together. Just do it like that, or no, perhaps not. That stops anyone from getting their hands in. It's basically a screw that's got no rounded bits. It's just completely rectangular. That allows you to get inside. So, yeah. This was going to go and skip at work, but I thought might as well pinch it and keep it as an ornamental piece. But now I know it's got asbestos lagging in it, I don't think I'm going to bother. Asbestos is fine as long as you do not disturb it. Once you disturb it, you're in a little bit of trouble. But you won't know that you're in trouble until 15 to 20 years down the line. Quick look at the manufacturer's details on the front of the Isolator. That one. These bill brands are quite hard to come by. I don't know any other brands that, apart from, I think it's MEM that do these types of isolators, but I could be wrong. So, quick look at the manufacturer's details. So that logo seems to be quite popular with the old style fuse boards with the asbestos lagging in it, which are coming hard to come by because they're slowly being replaced because of health and safety reasons and whatnot, and electrical regulations and whatnot. And I do not suspect that it was made on the 1st of April 1938, but I could be wrong, but who knows. I'm guessing that's the manufacturer's date up there. Who knows? Probably.